that he belongs among the best high school basketball players in the country. He can shoot the ball at an elite level, not good, at an elite level.
Yep.
5 of 8 from 3. He finished with 15 points. His last triple put the West up 106-105. They ended up losing the game. But, Skip, you can see the improvement that this kid has made over the last several years. The only thing that his mom and dad could provide for him was resources. He has to put the work in.
Absolutely.
So let's not pretend like he's the only kid that parents had resources. But they didn't work as hard. You can see the improvement. At the end of the day, Skip, his dad can't play for him. He can't shoot the ball for him. He can't defend for him.
No.
He can't do anything except provide the resources and advice. It's up to Bronny to put the work in. And you can see that he's putting the work in. You can see the improvement that he's made. Skip, I can hear it now in barbershop where he ain't even belong there. Look at the little paltry numbers. But he showed last night he belonged amongst the best because that is the way he shot the basketball. He showed that he belonged at this level. He showed that he can go to the next level and compete at a very high level. Now, whether he stays 1 year, whether he stays 2 years, that remains to be seen. But I like what I saw last night, Skip. He wasn't the moment, and I guess, Skip, growing up as junior to LeBron James, I guess he's been in the spotlight his entire life. And he hadn't shied away from it. No. He understands who his dad is. He knows what that name represents. And I think he had a great showing for that name last night. His mom and dad and his grandma and his brother that was in attendance, I'm sure they're extremely proud. I know his dad. His dad is like over the moon.
Like over the moon.
His dad is
he could barely contain himself in the front row.
He was.
Pretty soon I thought he was just going to go out on the floor and say, I want to play with you, right?
Just hug, just like, right, boy, you do it. You made that. You made your old man proud tonight.
Correct.
Skip, he can play. He can play at an elite level, and I believe he's just going to keep on getting better and better and better. And I don't care how much money someone's family has. At the end of the day, that said individual has to put the work in. So because he's not the first player, basketball, football, whatever the case may be, that's parents that have had money, had resources to give him the best trainers, the best instructors, and it didn't. The promise that was there went unfulfilled because the desire and the work ethic wasn't there. I believe his desire to get better, match with his parents' resources, gives Bron Jr. a great opportunity to go not only to the collegiate level, but to a level beyond that.
Okay. And by the way, he wasn't the only famous son there last night because Pace's son was there playing. Looked like he can play. There was a third-generation Wagner, and you remember...
Yep, Deshaun. His dad, Milt Wagner, played with Louisville.
He did. And there is a Reed Shepherd, who's the son of Jeff Shepherd, who won 2 titles with Kentucky, and now the kid is going to Kentucky, and he looks like he can play.
Right.
So these are all kids who are born with, quote-unquote, silver spoons in their mouths.
Right.
And you can argue they got great genetics, but they have to do the work.
Right.
Okay, before I launch on this, and I got a whole lot to say.
Okay.
I want to make a point and bounce it off you. You did have an older brother who was really, really good at playing football. So it had some impact on your rise.
Right.
But I'm here to make the case. I believe there's as much pressure on LeBron James Jr. as there was on senior, as in Bron, coming out of high school. Not that Bronny is as good as Bron, because he's clearly not.
Right.
Because who could be? But because of everything you just said, and because of the social media world in which Bronny grew up in, the pressure on this kid, and I want to say poor kid in some ways, but the pressure on him is staggering to me. It's beyond anything I've ever seen. And because he is the namesake son of that guy who is still the face of the NBA and is now the all-time leading scorer in the history of the NBA, for him to be on display at the McDonald's All-American game, is that what they call it, All-American?
McDonald's All-American.
Okay. For him to be the centerpiece, that game was just spilling over. Every time I looked up, I said, that kid can play, and that kid can play. And for him to be in the eye of that storm last night on national television with his famous father and mom and brother and sister and grandmother, all of them just right there in the front row, getting shot after TV shot after TV shot. Listen, seriously, I'm here to make the case. The pressure on this kid is equal to what his father went through, just because there's more of it today.
Yeah, there is, Skip, and he grew up in the social media age, and LeBron James didn't, even though we all knew who he was. There was no questions about who he's taking to the prom. Oh, he shouldn't have took this person to the prom.
No.
But I think the thing is, Skip, that what he does, he's not overshadowed by his dad. He embraces it. That's what it was for my brother. Now, Skip, man, you're not as good as your brother. You cannot run your brother. You cannot jump your brother. I embrace that. It's like, I want to show you.
But you heard it in second grade
yeah,
or whatever,
I did.
right?
So he understands that my dad is LeBron James. He understands what that represents. But, Skip, I don't think he runs from it. I think he embraces it. And there's the difference between the two. As long as you don't run from that, you embrace that moment, embrace the opportunity that you have, I think he'll be just fine. And he understands we're totally different. My dad is 6'9". I'm 6'3". My dad is built like a freight train. I'm not.
He's
put together
pretty good.
He's put together for 18, 19-year-old.
I think he is, actually.
But
not like Dad.
No.
Okay. So he's a 4-star recruit, not a 5-star.
Yeah.
He's a 4-star. He did not start the game last night because he doesn't rate starting with that kind of talent around him, because he's not that guy.
His dad was a galaxy. He wasn't a star. He was the galaxy.
Okay, he was. Clearly, LeBron is the starter in the McDonald's game, but the kid didn't start. But he did finish the game, and I thought that was significant.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to all of your points, I have loved this kid from the start, because he comes across as a very special young man who, in body language, in poise, in makeup, in the ability to embrace the pressure and rise above the pressure, I'm not sure I've ever seen anything any better than this.
Right.
Because, listen, he comes into the game off the bench. Did he look overmatched? No.
No.
Did he look like he was trying too hard?
No.
No. Did he look poised and confident, supremely confident and comfortable in the moment? You better believe he did. He hit his first 3. He ripped it as clean as you can rip it. And usually in an all-star game, every kid is trying to do too much and playing out of control.
Right.
He played in complete, serene control. He was actually, Bronny was playing basketball. Sometimes the kids just play wild one-on-one dunk contest ball, right?
Right.
But that was the best McDonald's game played that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
They actually played pretty good basketball.
Everybody wants to showcase while I'm here.
Well, sure. Well, they do. But I saw some pretty good ball movement, and Bronny benefited from that ball movement because he was getting off multiple passes, open threes, and making open threes.
Right.
Okay, so he makes 5 out of 8. He made a late clutch one that took my breath away. Could we see the shooting stroke? Can we see the purity of this stroke in the 5 threes that Bronny did make last night in the McDonald's game? Okay, so here's the first one, and he comes clear. Yeah, the first shot. And did he hesitate? Did he look nervous? Was it shaky-handed? Nope. Look at that. That is pure stroke.
Distance.
That's distance and effortless distance.
Look at this.
Yep. That's that's a dribble left to create some space. Here we go again. That's a rainbow, okay?
I mean,
this is the late one. This is the one that came late with 1:21 left, and that put them up 1. Okay, so here we go. I think we're going back to him again. Okay, so here's the point. He clearly is a better shooter than his father was. At this age, you could make a case than he is now. And just for the record, I checked this right before showtime. LeBron is shooting 30.6% from 3. He's having a down year. He's been an average three-point shooter, but he's not average anymore this year.
Right.
That ranks 147th of 148 qualified.
Right.
Only Banchero is the rookie, obviously at Orlando, is one notch below him. So he's shooting poorly from 3, and that's hit me between the eyes last night because the kid can flat out stroke it.
Yes.
Okay, that will travel. That will carry. That's the kind of stroke, especially under any kind of fire, expectation, pressure, that you can take up a notch and up a notch.
Well, Skip, he's a better shooter now than his dad was. His dad has worked and got better at shooting the basketball. Can you imagine if Bronny gets better at shooting the basketball, where he's going to go at being able to shoot the basketball? Because his dad wasn't even close to being able to shoot the basketball like this when he was this age.
Not even close. But the flip side is
he could drive the ball.
Hey, he could do things with the basketball just on sheer power and athleticism that Bronny never dreamed of doing.
But Bronny had to be able to shoot the ball like this, Skip, because he's not 6'9". He's not posting up anybody. No. He's not going to be able to take the ball Euro step and get to the rim like his dad could. Okay. So now he had to perfect other ways to make a name for himself, and shooting the basketball and playing defense is what's going to carry him.
Here's the other thing I loved about last night, because it's the first time I got to see him. It's almost like looking at a combine. The one thing I do love about the NFL combine, you get to see the best among the best. Right. How do they operate within the confines of the others who are vying for their same quarterback or receiver position, whatever. This is the first time I saw Bronny, and he blended beautifully. Yeah. He doesn't think he's better than them. He doesn't act like I'm too good for you. Right. He is one of the fellas. Yeah. And you could tell they really like him. And they were playing off him and playing with him, and they were very comfortable with him in ways that could go the other way, because, you know, again, born with that proverbial silver spoon, you could have an attitude. Do you know who I am? Do you know who my father is?
I'm sure at some point in time in his career, he's encountered jealousy. Oh, you got this because of who your dad is. Oh, you think you're this because of who your dad is. All right. I'm sure that's happened. But as he understands that, and look, and I'm sure LeBron and Savannah sat him down and told him, bro, everybody's not going to like you. You look around. Everybody ain't living like this, bro.
Nope.
Everybody don't have the opportunities your dad has been able to provide for you.
He is a rich kid. He is a rich kid.
Yes.
He lives in Brentwood, and I know Brentwood, and it's
Skip, I'm more impressed when somebody that has a family that says, you know what, yeah, I got it, and I know I'm always going to be good, but I want to get it on my own. When I look at a Peyton Manning, man, how can you not? His dad was Archie Manning, and although he wasn't what Peyton became, but they had a nice life. He went to private schools his whole life.
He did.
But he's like, nah, Dad.
That's a good example.
I want Ken Griffey Jr. It was like Griffey Sr. played in the majors a long time.
He did.
Now, he wasn't making the money that Junior was, but he was still a professional. He was still a professional player. And professional players' kids have things. He said his dad had a Rolls Royce. His dad sat in the RV and watched him play baseball.
Correct.
So everybody didn't have Rolls Royces and watched the kids play ball from an RV.
And Barry Bonds' father was Bobby, who played a whole lot of big league baseball. And Barry grew up privileged in San Francisco and went to Sarah High School, where Tom Brady went. And it's a private high school, and everybody there has some money. Okay.
You dug out, you have shoot around, you could Steph Curry.
There's another one. Okay. Still got to put in the work.
Still got to put it in.
All right. So I'm dealing with this, and I think you are too, in the context of we're interested because LeBron wants to play with his son. It's his dream almost coming true right before your very eyes. Well, to do so, the son has to hold up his end of the bargain. And it's a big end of the bargain to hold up because he's 18. We don't know where he's going to go. I'm going to address it in just a moment. For his 1 year, and it could you could be right, it could be 2 years in college, but he has 1 year before he would be eligible to play with LeBron someplace. Would it be with the Lakers? Would it be elsewhere? We don't know. But the point is, can he do this? And that's why we're evaluating him up against the McDonald's kids, because it's the first time you say, well, is he going to be qualified to play NBA basketball? Okay, so what do we see at Sierra Canyon this year? It's a good basketball school, and there's a lot of talent there. A lot has come through there, a lot of famous kids with famous fathers. Okay, so what did he do this year? He averaged for Sierra 14 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. To your point, Barbershop's going to say, seriously?
Exactly,
Okay, 14, 6, and only 3 assists? His father is still the best passer in basketball. Does he have the passing gift? Well, he's a solid passer, but he's not his father, obviously. Okay, so that's not his strength. Okay, so they played that Notre Dame school in Sherman Oaks this year 4 times. led by Caleb Foster, who has been recruited as a point guard to go to Duke.
Right.
Well, Bronny and company lost all four games to them. Okay, the barbershop's going to spit that right back at you and say, seriously?
Right.
And he's going to be in the NBA a year from now, you know, one season from now? Okay, so then what did we see last night? Well, he held his own because he can shoot it.
Yes.
And you could see he could shoot it, and he plays unselfishly.
Right.
Most kids, like you want to see high school numbers, obviously, where he's averaging 30 points a game.
Exactly.
And you think LeBron's son could average 30, right?
Right.
No, he doesn't play that way.
No.
He doesn't play selfishly. He doesn't have a big ego about what he's doing.
Right.
But if you leave him open, as they did last night, he will sting you.
Right.
And again, that last three that we showed you, that came with 1 minute and 21 seconds left to put them up one. It's a clutch shot.
Yeah.
So he's made of some tough mental stuff.
Skip, he had 2 steals, 4 assists.
And he had 2 steals.
So he had, he had a nice all-around game.
Okay. I did not like he had 2 fairly late turnovers where he tried something in the lane that just wasn't there on kind of semi-breaks. Okay. I'll give you that if you can shoot like he shot, because then you're good to go.
Right.
Okay. So now we get to the flashpoint at the end of the game. And this kid, Isaiah Collier, is the #1 recruit in the country out of the Atlanta. He's from Marietta, so it's right there in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Okay. So he is a point guard. He's a 6'4" point guard, and he is committed to USC.
Right.
Okay. He said before the game, I spent the whole week, or however long they've been in Houston, where the game was, recruiting guess who? Because there's only one unsigned kid, uncommitted kid, and that's
Bronny.
LeBron James Jr. Okay, so he said, I've been trying to get him to come with me to USC. Well, wait a second, Isaiah, do you play the same position? I don't know. That sort of surprised me a little bit, but he wants, maybe Bronny's more combo. Maybe he can play some
I'll play
too.
the point. He can play the 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Because he seemed like a shooter. Bronny, he's a shooter.
He's a shooter, but I think Isaiah's a shooter too. He's a spectacular passer, probably a more gifted passer than Bronny is. But if we can see what happened at the end of the game, Isaiah steps to the free throw line with the chance to win the game. And here he is. This is the #1 recruit in the country, and he leaves it short. And now you at least got to make one. And it's a little offline. I think that was yeah, okay. I thought he missed the other one the other way, but whatever. Okay, so the point is he misses both free throws.
He's 5 of 12 from the free throw.
Whew, that won't work.
That won't work.
Okay, that's a bad early sign.
Yeah.
All right, so now Bronny's team has a shot to tie. And I wanted Bronny to shoot the shot because I'm thinking, I think he could make this.
Yeah, it'd be a magic moment. He'd take the shot and make it.
Hey, it would be a magic moment. His father might faint or something.
Wow.
Okay, so the point is, he comes down and, true to his form and his self and his body language and lack of ego, he sets it up for the other Duke recruit. What's his name? Who took the shot at the end? Jared McCain. Jared McCain is signed with Duke. So here's the last play of the game. So Bronny says, okay, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to set you up here and let you shoot this. And it is a deep 3, and it missed pretty much everything. Okay, but that's the last shot from another big Duke recruit.
Right.
Okay, so there would have been a time if Coach K were still at Duke, I would think it'd just be a rubber stamp that LeBron would send his kid to Duke.
Probably so. And he said, Ohio State or Duke because he wanted to play with, with Coach K.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously LeBron grew up as a big Ohio State fan. He's a big Ohio State football fan, and now the odds are that the actual betting odds is that Bronny's going to go to Ohio State. We had LeVar Ball throw his 2 cents into the ring by saying, I think, this is yesterday, he said, if I'm LeBron, I send Bronny like my kid went to Australia because you get to play against pros, against grown men, and you are 24 hours basketball, and it makes you grow up a little faster.
Yes.
Well, it worked for LaMelo.
Right.
There's that G League Ignite where you can play for a year, or you can play that Scoot
Henderson.
Yeah, he's played 2 years of G League Ignite. And he'll be the, second pick, I think.
Draft.
Okay, so Bronny could go the G League route, or there's USC. And what I kept telling you about USC, it is right on the doorstep. And if LeBron is going to be a Laker next year, which I assume he is, at least it would give him access to be able to watch his kid play some games because you can get there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that made sense to me.
It does. It does. The question is, does he want the college experience by going to college and Skip being on the college campus and doing things like a college kid?
Yeah.
Because I think his dad really never got a chance to be a kid because it was basketball all the time because that was the way out.
Yep.
Bronny has at least had some high school experience because he's had things that he never had to worry about that LeBron was worried about. Like the lights being on, food being on the table, things, being hungry at night. That's what his dad went through. Bronny never had to worry about that. Will never have to worry about that.
No.
So the question is that when he sits down and talks to his mom and dad and he tries to come to a conclusion, because at the end of the day, the decision is his, what are you looking for? Do you want somewhat of a college life? Because, you know, if you only play 1 year, Skip, college is over. And this is a business. This is you become a grown man. When you become a professional athlete, doesn't matter if you're 21 or you're 19.
Yeah.
You grown.
Yeah.
You grown.
Agreed. My biggest takeaway from last night is I do believe Bronny has a chance to play alongside his dad and be able to hold up that end of the bargain.
Yes, I believe he'll continue to get better at shooting the basketball. I'm not saying he's going to be Dame Lillard or Steph Curry, but I like what I saw last night with him shooting the basketball.
Yeah. He's got poise and he's got guts.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.